some personal stories about some BS people in business. And now some of these people might recognize that I'm talking about them, but to be quite honest with you, there's one thing that I value more important than anything, okay? More important than anything, and that is my time. So without further ado, there are 3 things that I want to cover with you. We're just going to get into it, starting the countdown now. So 15 minutes, that's all I need of your time. So let's get started. So we are going to start with a couple of personal stories, okay? Right here on this social platform, there have been many people that have actually reached out to me and say, hey, I love to get a free consult with you. A 45-minute consult or a 30-minute consult, but nonetheless, the consult is free, but not exactly. And I've always said to the people that requested a consult, if you like what I share with you to help you grow your personal brand, to help you grow your business, help you put processes in place to actually scale your business, please just simply give us a video endorsement. Just no more than 30 seconds. Hey, I love, what AJ and I talked about. He helped me, blah, 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 and just send it to me. Now, there have been several people on this platform that have not followed up with obligations as it relates to, actually sharing, an endorsement of, with the public, in terms of giving me what I requested based on the exchange. Now, so what do I feel about that? Well, that gets us to the top 3 things, at least I think, how you, as a business owner, trying to do B2B, that's business to business, with another business, whether or not you're wasting your time. And to me, because I put so much time into sharing content and spend thousands of dollars on camera equipment, thousands of dollars putting systems and processes in place to actually help consult business owners and entrepreneurs with startups that might be struggling, my time is so very valuable, as well as my money. But my time is more valuable than my money because it's the most precious asset, the one thing that you cannot get back regardless of who you are and how much money you have. I guarantee you that Steve Jobs wished that he could give all this money up for more life, okay, for more time. And besides, I always use this adage, you've never seen a Brinks truck at a funeral. Although Drake does say in a new song that, bury my money with me in the grave. Okay, good luck with that, brother. Good luck with that. So the number one thing on identifying, and you got to be truthful with yourself, whether or not you are a bullshit, business person, is to ask yourself this one simple question. Do you keep your word? It's a simple question. Do you keep your word? Okay. And it reminds me so much of the free consults that I've done. Well, the exchange, with testimonies that I've done with people on this platform that one, never, followed up by giving me the video. I've even had one lady tell me in a feed while I'm doing a live that we don't follow up on our business processes, and I'm like, oh wow, let me see how it fell through the cracks. So I mean, what happened? So as I look, I discover that the lady actually sent me a DM, which is not how we really take business inquiries. We take them through our website. So I spent time helping the lady go to our website and see how she can actually book a meeting or even book a guest on this show. And guess what? Even after doing all that, she still didn't do it. But we had the problem with following up. And so, I'm not really being spiteful. I'm just simply saying to you, if you're a business owner, you have to really understand that the people that you're doing business with, are they true in doing business, or are they just faking being business owners or being entrepreneurs? Are they faking it? So you and only you can ask yourself a simple question is, do you keep your word? And if you don't, then you really need to do some self-reflection, examine how you can become a better business person by simply keeping your word. Number 2, do you like follow-up? Okay, it's a simple question. Do you like follow-up? Okay, so let me give you a story about lacking follow-up. As I shared with you earlier, the person who actually never filled out the form, which, by the way, people, let me just say this, okay? Just because you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, if a company has a process by which they intake or onboard clients, or they take information for clients, don't think just because you're having a personal conversation with a person on social media, such as myself, that you can simply skip the process on how we do business, okay? You have to respect the process on how business is done, okay? But nonetheless, at the same time, do you lack follow-up? In other words, once that process has been put in front of you, do you lack the follow-up in which, following the process in order to give information to the business person, in this case, me, the person who wanted to get an interview on this show and actually do business with us? Did you lack follow-up? And the question is, yes, you did lack follow-up. You want to know why? Because you didn't follow the process. And I tell anyone this, okay? If a business has a process in place, and the person that you're trying to do business with, a B2B situation, business to business, and they don't want to follow the process, they rather, send you text messages as opposed to going to the website and filling out a form, then don't do business with those people. You want to know why? Because they won't respect your entire process, your business processes, and how you conduct business. However, when it comes to follow-up or lacking follow-up, it's not just about filling out forms and processes. I give you case in point. There was a group of people who our company met with, right? And we met with them. We actually had a couple of meetings, and we technically only give one consultation, but we had a couple of meetings just to make some things clear for the business, not only the first partner, but the second and third business partners that so they would understand our process and how we do business. So they say, hey, send us an SOW. An SOW is a summary of work, right? Or you can call it scope of work on what exactly is that your digital asset management company and consulting firm will do for us. So I put it all together, right? I sent it out to them, right? 4 or 5 days pass. I shoot them an email, say, hey, just following up on the email that I sent you, and no response. But here is the funny part about the no response. They have no idea that we have systems and processes in place that we can tell when they scroll by our email. We can also tell when they clicked on our email and opened it and read it. We can tell all those different things. We're a technology company. Of course, we're supposed to be able to know how to do that. So some people that are watching this, if this applies to you, then I'm sorry, okay? It applies to you. The one thing that I learned about business is that time is so precious, your most valuable asset, that you cannot waste your time as a business person doing business or trying to follow or to acquire, to procure a client that's not willing to do something as simple as acknowledge that an email has been sent. That's terrible, okay? It's absolutely 100% terrible, but you call yourself a business person or persons or a company or whatever. You have to ask yourself, is that bullshit or is that bullshit? So if you're watching this and maybe you've had an interaction with me or our company, and and some people might say, well, AJ, this is terrible. I can't believe you're actually saying this. Then, if you can't follow up on an email, if you can't do something as simple as that, then chances are, and I really mean this, chances are you probably will not pay us on time. You probably won't follow up. The checks probably won't clear, because if you have a hard time of following up on your word, chances are you have a hard time of keeping up with your finances. I know, I've been there and I've done it. Okay, when I consider myself a BS person, I'm always striving to be better. You also know that I believe in what we call an incrementalist approach, right? Brian Tracy calls it the 1,000% rule. Dan Hardy in his book, The Compound Effect, calls it just that, the compound effect. The Japanese calls it the Kaizen effect. Incremental improvements lead to massive results. So every day I try to be better and try to be less of a bullshit business person, but I expect the other people around me that I do business with to be the same way. Now, you all know that I talked about doing this show yesterday. So if you are in the least bit surprised that I'm doing a show where I'm talking about this stuff, I'm sorry, but it's true. So let's move on to number 3, okay? Number 3, do you miss deadlines frequently? Well, chances are, if you don't keep your word, if you lack follow-up, most likely you're gonna miss deadlines. You want to know why? Because you're just being a bullshit business person. And it's true. You're missing deadlines because you lack follow-up and you are not doing what it is you're supposed to do. So, let me tell you, I have a trainer, right? Absolutely one of the best in the business as it relates to mixed martial arts, Thai boxing, and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Okay. And my trainer will always tell you the truth, okay? And sometimes the truth is a little harsh, okay? However, it is what you need to get better. And so in that same spirit, numbers 1 through 3, do you keep your word? Do you lack follow-up? Do you frequently miss deadlines? It's all in the spirit of helping you get better as an entrepreneur. And it's okay, because if you believe in the Kaizen effect, incremental improvements over a period of time lead to massive results, then you should apply the same principle as it relates to you getting better. As Brian Tracy talks about the 1,000% rule, if you can get 1/10 of 1% better, right? In 10 years, you'll be 1,000% better than you were 10 years prior, right? And let me tell you something. Those incremental improvements that lead to massive results, that getting better just a little bit each day as it relates to becoming a really good business person, has a very special effect. And you know what that effect is? That effect is an increase in income. That's right, an increase in revenue, the growth of your company. You taking something very, very small and growing it and being able to scale it because you do something as simple as, and here are the solutions to the problems or to the questions. Number 1, you keep your word. That is the answer to number 1. Number 2, you always follow up. You always send an email. You always respond. You always do those things that are necessary to keep customer satisfaction high. Okay? That's exactly what you do. And number 3, you do not miss deadlines. Why? Because you're clearly aware of everything that's going on within your business because you follow up, okay? Because you keep your word. Hence, you end up absolutely 100% crushing it on deadlines and delivering to your customers, as they say in project management, what your number 1 goal is to always deliver on a project on time, and with tremendous value and under budget. All right, so that is it. Okay, again, ask yourself, do any of these 3 questions apply to you as a business owner? And if they do, then get your shit together. Hey, I'm AJ, your host of the Startup Junkie. I really appreciate you guys checking us out here today on the show. And I just want to tell you that we are simulcasting, syndicating live on YouTube, Facebook, my personal profile page, as well as a Startup Junkie private group. And I'm imploring you to join that private group. It's only 1 member in there now, and that's me, because we just started. But I guarantee you it's going to grow, okay? It's going to grow. I'll be keeping you guys updated as we grow out our YouTube channel and start posting all of this content for your viewing pleasure, as well as inviting guests to come in. And if you'd like to be a guest on this show, all you have to do is simply go to thinkgrids.com and scroll over to all the way over to the right to the More tab, and scroll down to the production production tab and just type in your information and we'll get back with you. Okay, do not DM me. Let's use processes here. Okay. All right. And then also be sure to check out the Startup Junkie live show on Monday, or you can go and listen to the Startup Junkie live podcast on iTunes, TuneIn, Spotify, as well as iHeart Media. And that is it. We're down to 0. We appreciate everyone for checking out the show today. Until next time, everybody, I'm AJ, and I'm out.